Hi everybody, good morning. So you must be wondering कि ये कौन सी डॉक्टर है, हमने इनको देखा तो है हॉस्पिटल में बट कौन है हमें नहीं पता. First and foremost, I would like to appreciate all the nurses, because without the nursing staff the doctors are incomplete. It's just like जैसे husband and wife होते हैं तो husband is incomplete without the wife and wife is incomplete without the husband. ऐसे ही doctors are incomplete without the nurses and nurses are incomplete without the doctors. So once again I salute all of you because of your work, what you do in the hospital. So first and foremost 3 points that I would like to put up is सर ने जैसे एक पॉइंट कहा था कि what we have in mind why we join the this nursing course, there could be 2 reasons. One is somebody really has the in their heart that yes, I want to go and serve humanity. And some may have the thought कि चलो कोई जॉब नहीं मिल रहा है तो चलो हम नर्स ही बन जाते हैं, नर्सिंग में ही कर लेते हैं. But even if you have this thought, but when you become a nursing staff, you are indirectly doing a service to human mankind. So you indirectly you gain the blessing of the Almighty, the God, because आप ultimately एक सर्विस कर रहे हो. भले ही आपने उस उद्देश्य से ज्वाइन नहीं किया होगा, but even you would have joined with the thought, okay मुझे कुछ लाइफ में करना है, मुझे कुछ बनना है. But when you come in this field, you indirectly get the blessings not only of God but also of the patients whom you serve. So once again, it's I really bow my head towards all of you for your work that you guys do. Okay, now who I am. I'm Dr. Vidushi Agrawal and I'm a dietitian and a nutritionist. So I was asked by your principal ma'am, Dr. Anupama, to give you some kind of knowledge regarding diet and nutrition. So today I'll be not actually giving you completely on diet and nutrition because it's a very vast topic. It's like an ocean. But I will like to give you some thoughts on how diseases come. Okay, and first and foremost, we should implement it on ourselves rather than thinking about our family members or others. क्योंकि जब हम अपने ऊपर implement करेंगे, तो naturally your family members, your friends, everybody will see that how healthy you are, and then they will, it's all by word of mouth the thing goes. So when they see you, oh, you are so healthy, what are you doing? You're so healthy, what are you doing? And at the same time, if you are sick, अरे तुम नर्स हो, तुम डॉक्टर हो और तुम ही बीमार हो तो तुम हमारी सेवा क्या करोगे. सो व्हेन वी आर इन द मेडिकल प्रोफेशन, इट इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी फर्स्ट टेक केयर ऑफ आवर ओन हेल्थ, एंड देन बिकॉज ओनली व्हेन वी आर हेल्दी वी विल बी एबल टू टेक केयर ऑफ अदर्स, राइट? ओके, सो नाउ दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी अ जान सेशन. Okay, it is going to be an interactive session because I always like to interact. So okay, now I would ये आपका फर्स्ट ईयर है, सेकेंड ईयर है, थर्ड ईयर है, कौन सा ईयर है नर्सिंग का? फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड मिक्स्ड. ओके, I hope all of you have heard or all of you have studied that diseases are genetic. कितने लोगों ने ये पढ़ा है या सुना है? Have you heard diseases are genetic?
Some diseases, yes.
Okay. Some diseases are genetic. So why can't we put a question to ourselves that health can be genetic? If we say diseases are genetic, then can we say health can be genetic? अगर हम ये बोलते हैं कि हमारे बच्चों को वही बीमारी आएगी जो हमें होती है, या हमें वो बीमारी आएगी जो हमारे मम्मी पापा या हमारे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स को थी, so why can't we say that we will get a better health or we can pass a better health to our kids, to our future generation? So how do we define that? Okay, now I want at least 4 or 5 people to answer. आप लोग रोज क्या खाते हैं? Okay, one I'll ask you, then I'll take it from the crowd as well. Both of you can answer. रोज आप क्या क्या खाते हैं? Come. No, I am going to ask you guys also, don't worry. So at least I'll be asking you 4 or 5 of you. Come on. Okay, besides the regular home food, how many of you have the vada paos every day? How many? Just raise your hands. How many of you have the vada pav, samosa, pani puri, almost at least 3 days, 4 days in a week? Or how many of you have puris? How many of you have kachoris? Maggie. Okay, so don't feel shy. See, it's just a knowledge session, okay? So it's not that I'm going to point out at you guys, I'm just going to tell you about it. So just raise your hands freely, it is going to be a fun session. So tell me, how many of you eat Maggie, samosas, kachoris? See, so many hands coming up, right? Okay. Now, we all know that, especially I'm talking about packed foods, fried foods. When we talk about samosas and kachoris, which are available in the market, okay? We know how many times the oil has been used. It has been reused, 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 and reused. So because of that oil being reused again and again and again and again, what happens to that oil? There are free radicals which are generated, right? When these free radicals are generated, how does it hamper us? How does it hamper us? What do free radicals do? Anybody? What do free radicals do? They can give rise to hypercholesteremia, high cholesterol. They can give rise to heart diseases, right? They can give you hypertension. They can give you diabetes, all various kind of diseases. So, is it that these are genetic in nature, or is it that we have created these for our own selves? We have created this for our own selves. Okay? Now, when we have created these diseases for our own selves, when these diseases come in us, what happens? The genes tend to change. When genes tend to change, when a lady, she becomes a mother, okay? Now, when is a child born? A child is born out of an ovum and a sperm coming together, right? So naturally, the genes pass from that ovum and then sperm both, and then a child is born, right? So this is how the diseases pass. So it is not that it is genetic. We have created these diseases in our own body, and we are passing these diseases to our child. So what are we gifting to our child? As soon as a child is born, we are gifting diseases to the child. So who wants to gift their child with diseases? Anybody would like to do it? No, I'm sure, right? So it is very important to understand whether we want to give health to our child or whether we want to give disease to our child. This is how diseases become genetic. Now, if we become aware that what food is healthy and what food is not healthy, we can improve our lifestyle starting today. See, whatever we have got from our previous generations, luckily our parents, they have come up from a background, okay, which has been comparatively much healthier than what it is today, right? Unke time mein, vada pav was not freely available. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होता था? स्कूल से निकले, एक वड़ा पाव खा लिया, वो भी एवरीडे नहीं, 10 दिन में एक बार. पॉकेट मनी मिलती थी, मतलब इतनी सी पॉकेट मनी मिलती थी कि आप उसको कलेक्ट करोगे तो 8-10 दिन में आप एक वड़ा पाव खा पाओगे या एक समोसा खाओगे. But today what is happening? You can have vada pav 3 times in a day, you can have samosa 3 times in a day, you can have Maggi 3 times in a day. Okay, so this is what is creating disease. Today there is abundance of food, not for probably people in remote villages, but definitely for people in cities. And this abundance is creating diseases. This abundance is creating diseases. So it is very, very important to understand what is creating diseases. And if we are healthy, we can serve people. But if we are not healthy, कल हम आएंगे, अरे आज तो मेरे हाथ में बहुत दर्द है, या today I'm having a headache. Headache can be because of anything. It can be because of you would have had too much of oily stuff. Okay, it can be because of various other things. But if you come to hospital and if you have a headache, will you be able to serve somebody? No, not with 100% attendance or not with 100% mindset. थोड़ा बहुत करोगे, but उसमें भी गलतियां हो सकती हैं because your attention will not be completely that side. Right? So it is very important to understand what food is healthy and what food is not healthy. Especially packaged foods. The packaged foods that we get in the market, they have all sorts of preservatives. All sorts of preservatives. Okay, I want to know how many of you do get acidity problem? How many of you? How many of you? Don't feel shy. See, just raise your hand because then only I'll be able to clear your doubts. How many of you, say once in a week, once in a month, 10 days in a month, how many of you get acidity problem? How many of you get headache regularly? Okay, so definitely, why do you get headache? The reason that you get headache or acidity problem is, we all are aware that in our stomach, there is hydrochloric acid that is being produced. Okay, now whatever packaged foods or these fried foods that we eat, they are all acidic in nature. So when we eat more of acidic food, it goes and mixes with hydrochloric acid in the stomach and it creates more acidity. And this acidity, then we get burning sensation and then we become acidic. And उस acidity की वजह से हमें headache भी होता है. कई बार हमें ये acidity महसूस नहीं होती, but इस acidity की वजह से ही हमें headache भी कई बार होता है. So it is better to avoid acidic foods, to avoid more of these fried foods, and especially in this summer season, because summer season is extremely warm and it creates more acidic background when you eat more acidic food in your stomach, in your body. And this also leads to various other diseases. So how many of you are now going to stop eating or make your vada pav and Maggi and other things less? Are you, just don't raise hands for the sake of saying, yes, I'll reduce. But it is important for you guys to understand that what you should be having, what you should not be having. Preferably eat homemade, home-cooked food because they are not preserved. If you are eating anything from the hotel also, they will not throw away the previous day's food. They will add preservative to it and store it in the refrigerator or store it in the freezer. Okay, so आप बोलोगे कि मैंने तो fresh खाना ही खाया, but मैंने होटल से खाया, तो उसमें भी preservative होगा. मैंने packed foods are worst. Okay, packaged foods are worst because they have a shelf life of 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever. Okay, but even the hotel food is not good because they also have preservatives in them. So it is always best to have fresh meal right from your home. Bring fresh meal from your home. Avoid Maggi, avoid samosa, avoid kachoris, avoid wafers for that matter. Okay, of course, when I'm saying avoid all these, so probably Sandhya Maushi may come and tell me, you know, meri canteen ki sale kam ho jayegi. So, but this is what I have, let that be for the patient's relatives because we are not educating them, we are educating our staff. So at least you guys can take care of yourself when you want to serve your patients well. And last but not the least, one thing that I wanted to say, that knowledge is, there's no end to gaining knowledge. I'm sure my colleagues will agree to this. We have a staff here. My experience here in RVMH is for 7 years. Okay, we have a staff here who has grown from an HR individual to a nurse. Okay, he's none other than Rohit. I'm sure Cicely's sister and Blessy will agree to it. Okay, he has grown from an HR person to a nurse. So he has worked that hard over a period of 7 years from his journey from an HR person to a nurse. So there is no end to gaining knowledge. Okay, if you are knowledgeable, you can even, you know, I'm not saying argue with the doctor, but you can confront the doctor and say, sir or ma'am, no, this is not right. I feel this is correct. And then they will listen to you. They will discuss with you. They will just not snub you and say, oh no, you're not saying correct. Just keep quiet and sit down. So knowledge is always big. So there is no end to gaining knowledge. So don't think, oh, I'm just a nurse and I have no standing in front of the doctor. No, that's absolutely incorrect. You are equivalent to a doctor. Everybody has their own role. If you have good knowledge, if you have collected good knowledge, and knowledge, as I said, is unending. If you keep collecting your knowledge, if you keep gaining your knowledge, yes, you can be the best person on this earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.